Hey guys, Mark Lassagne from Bass Angler Magazine. Here I want to share with you a really fun way to catch some fish. Now that is using a wake bait. What we have here is a FishLab Bio-Gill jointed wake bait. One little tip I do to this is that I like that this just looks like a bluegill, right? So bluegill have a chartreuse tail, so I take a little chartreuse marker and I'll mark that tail. So let me show you. So got a little marker, you buy them at any tackle store. Take the chartreuse off, just put it like that. You can just do it and that'll make the tail nice and chartreuse. Be careful, don't use this on the boat carpet because it'll make your boat carpet chartreuse also. So let's talk a little bit about what this is, how we fish it, and the equipment we use it on. So it's a wake bait. So essentially what you do, you throw it out, and when you're reeling it back, it makes a wake right up on top of the water. So you reel a little bit faster, it goes a little bit deeper, but it really won't go deeper than just a few inches under, and it's gonna come across the water and make a nice little wake, hence wake bait. Okay, about what we fish it on. The line, 15-pound line, 15-pound mono. So the reason I'm using mono versus fluorocarbon is that mono floats. Okay, fluorocarbon sinks, so we want to use mono. You can use braid if you want, but I like mono to have a little bit of stretch. So for me, I like fishing it that way better. So the rod. This one is an Okuma Serrano rod, 7.3 heavy. 7.3 heavy is really a versatile rod. Works great for throwing this bait too. Because these are a little heavier bait, so you need a little heavier rod to be able to huck it out there. If the rod has too much tip, it won't cast very well. If it has not enough tip, it'll be a little bit too stiff. Because it has treble hooks, you need a little bit of give in that rod. So if you look, this rod has a pretty good tip on it. So enough tip that you can cast accurately, and enough tip so you can play a fish and it won't pull the treble hooks out of it. And it has enough backbone that if you're in the stuff, in the heavy cover, you have enough backbone to get that fish hooked and get them out. Okay, the reel I like to use, Helios SX 7.3 to 1. 7.3 is a perfect gear ratio for me, about 90% of the things that I use. Sometimes you might want an 8 to 1 if you want something to go really fast. Maybe you're punching, you might want an 8 to 1. If you're throwing a swim bait or a bigger crankbait, you might want to go to a 6 to 1. But 7.3 to 1 works good for most everything. One thing I really like about the Serrano rods is the wind grip. So it has a nice grip, just feels good in your hand, works good for throwing it for a long day. Okay, now how we fish this thing. Like I talked about a minute ago, basically we're just gonna throw this thing out. Just kind of, you can stop, you can let the ring go away like you might on a top water, or you can just start reeling. So we're just gonna reel this thing back, and you see about how fast I'm reeling it. So we just reel it back, and if you look at the bait, you can see it, and it has a nice wake. So I'm gonna give you 3 ways to fish this. So with like anything you're using, you're gonna kind of let the fish tell you what they want, whether they want it fast, slow, stopped, you know, medium. So the first one is medium, like we did last time. Just reeling along slow. Second one is really slow. Sometimes you have those conditions that are quiet and flat where the fish aren't very aggressive, and you want to move it real slow, because those fish will come up and they'll get curious, and if you're moving it real slow, a lot of times they'll come up and hit it. Okay. Thirdly, when the fish are a little more aggressive and you maybe have a little wind or something on the water, you'll reel a little bit faster where it goes just a couple of inches underwater. If you want to learn more, go to FishLabTackle.com.